The more I look at myself, the more I do think that I'm really channeling Pirates of the Caribbean.
Don't. I'm getting orchestra flashbacks.
Remind us what instrument you played in the orchestra.
The baritone horn, and I was lip syncing it before it was cool. That should have been my drag name.
It's a baritone horn.
I've got a baritone horn for you.
This week at Via on Canal Street, it's Baritone Horn.
Racers, are you ready?
It's time for
the Brit Stop!
Hello, and a huge, fabulous welcome to the Brit Stop. I'm Nadia Business.
And I'm her imaginary friend, Lorna.
And welcome to episode 8 of the Brit Stop. Oh my God, episode 8.
Yep.
Who'd have thought we'd be here? Who led us on camera, Lorna?
Oh my God, we made it. We've not fallen out. We've not split up. We're not Bros Brothers. We're back together again.
We're sisters.
That's false, America.
We're back, and this week we are talking about episode 8 of RuPaul's Drag Race UK.
We're at the top 5. It's getting serious now. Sister has just left the building. Ahura has won her second repeater badge.
Second.
And
yeah.
so well deserved. I still cannot get over that blue ensemble.
Oh, it was
Beautiful.
incredible. Yes, we said goodbye to Sister. We send her all of the love. Obviously, we mentioned last week that the hate that she received online is not acceptable.
Amen. Absolutely. And especially going into this week, because it's getting even more stressful. And what a dramatic episode. I cannot wait to dig into this episode with you, Nadia. Let's get...
So the mini challenge this week is RuPaul enters. Can we just talk about RuPaul's looks? Because we had the neon detox inspired wig after Ginny Lemon left. This week, RuPaul's kind of given us this brown, like a side fringe Liberace.
Why is nobody picking this up? Everyone's just like, oh, totally normal that Ru is all of a sudden wearing male wigs now, I guess.
Sure, yeah. The queens have to butch it up to RuPaul's song Kitty Girl, which of course was the final 4 song in All Stars 3.
It's my favourite one.
Kitty, kitty, hey, kitty, kitty, hey.
The queens all got an interesting butch aesthetic to perform the songs. Shout out to Ahura going absolute like dominatrix man, like, you know, with a little mustache and the leathers and the chains. And Ellie Diamond was getting a little bit turned on.
She was here for it, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what you're into.
I know, take notes.
I was going to wear my bondage gear this week, but it's in the wash. I thought Ahura was the best. Also matched with Taste, like...
Yeah, Tate's energy was like all over the place, and I loved it. She really went for it, didn't she?
But it was Ahura's lines, like, just to confirm, I've never heard of Lady Gaga. I love het women. I was like, it was pure comedy.
So Ellie Diamond won the mini challenge, which I thought, yeah, she did really well as well. I think, you know, there wasn't much between all of them. I think any of them deserved to win, to be perfectly honest. But yes. Ellie got that win, and it was her first win of anything, right? And we find out that the Maxi challenge is the classic stand-up comedy routine set, and they're asked to kind of base it on romantic life and like maybe their sex life or like, you know, their love life.
Everyone can sort of relate, you know, in some way, but you've got to make it fucking funny. Where are the jokes?
You can say that I wasn't funny.
Okay.
You may not like what I was saying, but you cannot say I wasn't funny.
Ellie Diamond gets to decide the running order. Now, this is always a bone of contention. Oh, hello. Freedom! As it turns out, when she decides the running order, 2 queens in particular, Ahura and Lawrence Cheney, have some major issues with it.
I'm feeling some type of way, and, you know, I'm feeling some type of way.
they've just got a few things to say, just a little niggles. Do you think, Nadia, the kind of like lineup in this sort of challenge is really important? As in, do you think it matters where you're placed?
Yes, to an extent, because yeah, you have to bring it. That's your responsibility. But at the same time, if you're put on first, then you're going to be more nervous. If you're watching another queen go first, you're going to kind of ease into it a little bit, and you're going to kind of know what to expect. You're going to get a feel for the crowd, which was just the judges and some inanimate objects.
That would absolutely put the fear of God in me. Even for the funniest bitch in the room, it's hard to do a stand-up routine. And not only that, but they're not going to have an audience, and it's just going to be the judges. Oh, I felt sorry for them.
Ellie Diamond decides the order. She puts Ahura first, herself second, Bimini third, Lawrence fourth, and last but not least is Tace.
Yeah.
And she does observe that the funny queens, the comedy queens, are Bimini and Lawrence.
She does, yeah.
Ahura's upset she's first. Lawrence is upset that she might look bad going after Bimini, who she knows is funny, and points out that Ellie hasn't really done herself any favours by putting herself second. But Ellie points out that if Ahura flops, it makes Ellie look funnier.
Oh, God. Sure, it's annoying, but I think what Ellie's done is probably the right thing for her. In my opinion, I'll get this out now, is that Ahura and Lawrence have come off the last episode, and actually the full run of the series, the strongest, okay? They are strong, they're doing well in the competition, and they have the most to lose. For me, that's what this whole big scene of having a go at Ellie about this, I think was a bit about that.
So before the Maxi Challenge actually takes place, the queens have a one-on-one session with the comedian himself on the panel. It's Alan Carr. I think we have to talk about the fact that he tells Ahura, this is, a little bit blue. Maybe you want to rethink.
We couldn't, as a viewer, kind of understand how crude the material was because the BBC had to. And then the other person that I kind of witnessed who was really, really nervous was Tace.
I mean, when she walked in, she said, they've told us we've got to talk about love, sex, and relationships. What do I know about love, sex, and relationships? He laughed and said, there's your opening line.
Yeah.
She didn't use it. So let's get into the Maxi Challenge. First up was Ahura, and she did not take Alan's advice.
No. And the most frustrating thing, yet again, it bleeped out the kind of worst things. So it made us think, oh my God, what has she said? This must be like the worst thing in the world, especially with like the judges' reactions. Can we just say who was on the judging panel?
Yes!
Oh, gorgeous. Dawn French.
Queen! I just love her. So yes, Ahura was blue. It didn't go down well. It did not go down well.
There were some laughs.
I think that was awkward laughter.
And also Ahura she just lost her way, and she had a moment where she fluffed and had to redo it, and then she tried to redo it and it didn't work, and then Rue had to save her and kind of shout from the audience to get her back on track. How did you think Ellie Diamond did? It was interesting choice.
I hated it. If you are going to go down the route of having another persona in your stand-up comedy, you need to be the funniest bitch on the planet. You need to be a comedy queen already. Because that is a skill. I wouldn't try it. And I've got many personas.
Don't I know it?
It's baritone horn.
The judges, you could see it in their faces. They were just kind of bemused and like, what's just happened?
It was just awkward.
The next queen, cool as a cucumber. Walking down, femme fatale, Bimini Bon Boulash. gorgeous. What a look. Oh, beautiful.
So beautiful. The blonde hair, it was very kind of 20s, 30s inspired, that black dress. I think one of the judges, I think might have been Alan, said, you look like you just come from your husband's funeral.
Yeah, that was great.
And her comedy. I mean, she's a natural. We saw it in the Snatch game. She knows how to bounce off other people, how to make other people laugh, and her timing is impeccable.
I was about to say comic timing, and also she just oozes confidence, Nadia. I am so envious of just that confidence. Oh,
yeah.
Just gonna put that.
Oh,
that is.
I'm feeling my oats. Let me feel my oats.
She had the audience, i.e., four celebrities, on her side from the start. And that's what you need to do. You need to win them from the very first sentence you say, and then they're on your side then. And yeah, very cool. So next up, this was kind of pressure on Lawrence, okay? I thought she started off so strong.
So strong.
And probably I thought, oh, she's going to do better than Bimini here. Because as the judges said, as Dawn said, which I think is totally true, she is the most naturally comedic. She is a natural comic, and you can just tell. And she has that warmth about her. And when she came on stage, first of all, self-deprecating, she went straight for the camel toe joke. And I was like, brilliant. I really laughed. I thought it was great.
It was fantastic. And you know, like Michelle said, our eyes went straight to it.
Yeah.
And instead of letting it be a negative critique later on, she used it as a gag, and it was so good. You can tell that Lawrence is a host when she does her shows at home in Glasgow.
Oh my God, yeah.
It was the confidence, it was the knowledge to kind of bring up the audience and say, come on, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we've seen that work really well before. She sensed the energy in the room. She changed it. It was fantastic. But unfortunately, like Alan said, there were mega buses to those punchlines towards the end. Last but not least, we have up to the stage, we have the beautiful Welsh queen herself, Tace, who is giving me kind of like Black Amy Winehouse. I loved it.
Her outfit was just stunning. Oh my God.
Stunning! Her comedy set, she started off great. Really warm to listen to and to watch. I was impressed. And there were moments that she kind of lost the judges. Her beans on toast routine I thought was great.
It worked, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a really kind of, this sounds awful, a middle of the road performance, but like wasn't the worst, wasn't the best. Meh.
No, totally agree. And they picked up on that she kept reusing the phrase, but I'll get to that later. Which actually I thought, well, the first time she used it, I thought that's really funny because, I mean, we've seen Bimini's set, she reused the phrase, like, you know, not a joke, just a fact. Not a joke, but just a fact.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck she's saying.
But yeah, I guess she did use it a bit too much, but I didn't hate it. I thought she's doing such a good job for someone who's never done stand-up before. Wow. Well done.
Yeah.
It was a tough challenge, Nadia, and well done to all you queens for getting through that, because surely that's like torture.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the queens are back on the runway doing their looks, which is stoned on the runway. First to the runway, Ahura, looking gorgeous, absolutely dripping in these like crystals and diamonds with a nude bodysuit. Literally
an IV drip. Body's right, makeup is absolutely stunning as always, and the hair is a RuPaul reference. That lip could have been too much because it's very dark compared to how everything else is quite pale, but for Ahura, I loved it. I thought it was great. It stood out.
Yeah, and that hair, like you say, is a reference to a RuPaul look, which Michelle got, and it was a nice nod. Really cool.
Next up on the runway, we have the first of our Scottish queens, the Snow Queen herself. It's Ellie Diamond in all her 6'1" glory. Oh my God, she's so tall.
So tall. This was a super cute look from Ellie. I mean, come on, we know now this is her aesthetic. Super duper cute. Yeah. Now, following from Ahura's a little bit basic compared, but still really good. And her makeup, once again, is just flawless.
I mean, oh God.
I live.
But yeah, any queen could wear this. And I wanted something more. Is it as smart as the other runways?
No. Well, no.
Talking of smart on the runway. Oh my God.
I was like, when she turned around the corner and you could see the kind of like, you know, the zits and the pimples on her face. I was like, what is she doing? And then she's got this whole get up going on and it's all stoned. Like all her like little pimples and acne on her whole outfit is stoned with diamantes. Nadia.
So
amazing.
good. So good. It's acne, but make it fashion.
What? Amazing! Yeah! Next, around the corner, our second Scottish queen, it's Lawrence Chaney. Oh my gosh, she's like a pink crystal alien monster, and I live for this.
It's gorgeous. It's different to what we've seen from Lawrence yet again. I think Alan called it a big gay crusty meteorite, which I'm there for. The body is right, the face is right.
Always.
The headpiece, it's the shade of pink used in the makeup is the exact same shade of pink on the outfit.
Yes.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Even her minge is crusty. Even her minge is crusty. Last to the runway is the ever beautiful Welsh queen herself. It's Tace.
She's just hot, man. Like, trade of the season. Here she is.
And in drag, you know, in drag, out drag, one of the most beautiful faces we've seen on any season of Drag Race. I mean, my God. I say it every bloody week, that makeup is just beautiful.
Just to quick little mention, her little heart to heart with Lawrence was so heartbreaking and so honest for her to be so vulnerable to say that she feels so insecure because she's not had, you know, a serious boyfriend, and the boyfriend she did had, she had a really traumatic experience, and she's not been able to find love since, and she's got insecurities about that, which of course Lawrence was the same. Like, oh my gosh, an absolute supermodel can still look at herself in the mirror and, you know, not like what I see and feel insecure.
This metallic robot gladiator glamazon is just chef's kiss.
Now, are we ready to discuss this?
Jesus.
Untucked this week was so uncomfortable. Ahura cannot look at Ellie. She is so fuming and is blaming this whole situation on Ellie's lineup choice. And she goes straight in and literally says to Ellie, I can't be near you. I'm so fuming.
I am deeply and utterly offended.
And poor Ellie is just sat there.
We do see it that she says, you know, I kind of feel bad. And she said it to Tace and Bimini in the workroom before the Maxi challenge. And Tace did say, look, this is the game. It's a competition. What, you know, everyone else will do the same thing.
Did Ellie set, like, Ahura up for a fall? Yes. Is that shady? Yes. Has it kind of worked? Yes.
Yeah.
So I get it. It's frustrating for Ahura, but you've got to deal with the cards you're given. You know, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So Lawrence then decides she's unhappy still, and she's still angry about the lineup too, and she feels that Ellie has set everyone up and that is disappointing. And Lawrence even says she's disappointed in Ellie. Wow.
Dear Lord, what a sad little life.
Before the challenge, I could kind of see Lawrence's point. We don't know how it's going to play out. We don't know who's going to bring it. But after the challenge and after the judges' critiques, it's quite clear that Lawrence isn't anywhere near the bottom. Why are you still mad?
Yeah, why are you still mad? Yeah.
Why are you mad though?
They have this kind of sisterly bond where, you know, they're both Scottish queens, they're both on the same circuits. They've got this kind of tension bubbling underneath, and this argument just literally felt like a family argument, didn't it?
You don't love me.
So let's get back on the main stage where we find out that Bimini Bon Boulash has won the challenge, and this is her third Root Peter badge.
Third. That's 6. 3. So she is, for badges, tied with Lawrence. Don't forget to head over to our score sheet on Instagram right now when you finish watching the episode to see the full breakdown because, my God, have things changed?
Indeed. And I'm just absolutely thrilled for Bimini. From episode 1, lip syncing on the first episode to now. And what a journey she's come on. And you can see that Rue is just like so proud of her.
Yes. And I'll hold my hands up. I counted Bimini out when I watched her Meet the Queens. I thought, she's very East London. She's very popular in Sink the Pink. And she's got her own brand. Do I see her as the next Drag Race superstar? Not necessarily. And she has proved me wrong.
Lawrence was safe, which
is safe.
We kind of expected, which left the bottom Tace, Ahura, and Ellie, which we also expected. Now, the absolute gag for me was that Ellie Diamond was safe, leaving Ahura and Tace again, to lip sync for their lives. I was sort of gagged by this.
I texted you on Thursday night and I was like, I'm devastated and I'm fuming. I personally, and I think you agree, tasted better than Ellie.
I think she did.
And even Michelle said on the runway during the critiques that whilst Ellie's look was beautiful, it didn't kind of have the same creative oomph as everybody else on the runway. So I saw Tace kind of being safe. The Queens have to lip sync to Dusty Springfield. It's an emotional song. It's powerful. And I have to say, Ahura and Tace both brought it.
Neck and neck, hun. Neck and neck. I couldn't decide who was better. I was still kind of shooketh that they are both in the bottom and I didn't want either of them to go. And producer Joe, all the way through this episode, was saying it's going to be a double save. He was like, it's going to be a double save, Lorna. They've not done it yet, and it's going to be a double save. It's going to be a double save. You mark my words. Every 5 minutes he was telling me. But was there a double save, Nadia?
No. And the way Alan Carr was looking at the two queens like a game of really fast Wimbledon tennis, I thought this is going to be a double save.
The song ended. Rue announces that Tace, the lip sync assassin,
officially,
Shantae You Stay, and Ahura sachets away. Wow. From the magnificent win of last week with her look.
Her second win.
Second win. And she gets asked to leave. Wow.
Even if you have a badge, you can still go home. Even if you have 2 badges, this is the game. This is competition. You have to bring it every time. And if you stumble and fall, you have to bring it in the lip sync. And unfortunately for Ahura, Tace just had that edge.
It's insane that she's gone. And what a journey Ahura has had herself on this season.
We saw her vulnerability. We saw her grow as a person, especially after coming back from the 7 months in lockdown. To see her go now, it just feels very unfair. But this is the game. This is Drag Race UK.
Now, Nadia, we have our top 4. Oh my goodness.
We have Bimini Bon Moulash, Ellie Diamond, Lawrence Chaney, and Tace. 2 queens there with 3 badges each. We have Tace with 1 and Ellie with none. But she's come very close to winning quite a few challenges. So it is still absolutely anyone's game.
I think so.
And I cannot wait for episode 9 and the top 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race UK, Lorna.
So, guys, please head over to iPlayer on Thursday to watch episode 9 and then come back to us on the following Monday to watch us discuss episode 9 on the Brit Stop show. And where can you find us, Nadia?
Well, it's at the Britstop Show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as well. So head over to our social media, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share. If you haven't watched the past 7 episodes of the Britstop, what are you doing with your life?
And join our conversation. Oh my God. Well, I can't wait to see you next week, darling. It's the highlights of my week.
I'll see you next Monday, Lorna, for episode 9 of the Britstop. Perhaps the penultimate episode. Oh my God.
See you there, hun. Can't wait. Bye.